Jump on. I'm running a little late due to life, unforeseen circumstances. So get you a second to get your notification. I talked about relationships a little bit earlier on my other page. So if you haven't hopped into my group and you're all about working on yourself, doing some self-love, some healing, just gets a little deeper than what we do on this page. So I'm going to give you a second. By the way, happy Valentine's Day. If you're feeling so to par, if I didn't think that I might get some creepers, I'd post my address so you could send me a heart-shaped pizza or something. Just make sure it doesn't have a crust. Actually, I wouldn't be that picky. I would take the crust off. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give you this awesome, super cool. Da, 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 da. It might already be in here, actually. I'm just going to give you a reminder. If you really want to work on yourself and get to a space of fabulousness, here's the link to my Facebook group where I talk about all things getting in touch with your subconscious and your inner self and learning to love who you really are. Okay, but in theme of Valentine's Day, let's talk about relationships. And, here's the thing. It sounds really backwards, but if you really want your relationship to work, you got to focus on yourself first. And so this is going to bring us into a place of talking about the word selfish. That word has a lot of impact, right? If I say the word selfish to you, it brings up emotions that are associated with toxicity and narcissism and putting myself before other people. And so, really, what is a word? A word is something that we create based off of what we've been taught, and it's a reality. In fact, if we took some little kids and we took half of them and taught them the colors that we know, and we took the other half of them and taught them the colors, and we taught them that, red was orange and blue was green or whatever, the kid's just going to grow up saying that that's what it is because that's their reality. And that's what language does too. So the word selfish has an underlying meaning to it, depending on the layers of conditioning from what you've been taught by teachers and friends and family. And so we're going to look at that because when is it okay to be selfish? And it's okay to be selfish anytime. You just don't want to take your selfishness to a level of toxicity. So yeah, if you want your relationship to work, you have to put yourself first. And here's why. Clearing away that toxic phrase of don't be selfish allows you to give to yourself. And when you love who you are, you vibrate at a higher level and you can be selfish and giving at the same time, right? Carrie, it is. It's scary to be selfish. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples and it'll probably resonate with you of why there's somewhere in your life where you're like, wow, that is exactly what I've been taught. So here we go. Oh, Clover wants to come into the office. Okay, hold on. Let me get Clover. She's so cute. How can we not get her? Come on, Clovy. Come on. Where'd she go? Okay, well, is that you? Ah, I thought she was there, but I actually think it was maybe not her. Okay, so I have the cutest little dog. She's so cute. Her name is Clover, and she is a Shih Tzu Pomeranian mix, and she is just a doll. Okay, but here, this is why you feel like you're selfish, okay? Group of kids. Little kids playing with a toy. Let's say they're 3. 3-year-olds playing with a toy. 2 or 3, right? The brain isn't fully developed, so they can't completely grasp what's happening. They're playing with a toy. And then your friend comes over and their kid starts playing and realizes that the toy that the other kid has is the toy that they want. And so another child notices the toy and flips out. And and start saying that they want to play with it. And it is what the parent does. The parent's like, oh, give her the toy because you need to share. Okay. Come on. Come here, baby. Thanks. Hi, Clovey. Okay, she came back. Okay, here's Clover. Do you like my Valentine's Day shirt? You love me. This is Clover. Clover, say hi. Isn't she so freaking precious? Okay. All right, focus, focus. All right, so then you want to be a good friend, right? And you don't want your friend to think that your child is selfish or not sharing. And so you tell your kid, give her or him the toy. You need to share. And what are we telling the child? So if my kid's playing with a toy first and another kid shows up and starts freaking out because their attention is at the toy, and then I tell my kid, give them the toy because you need to share, I just taught my child that they're not of worth. And this goes on and on and on in our life. And this suggestion becomes this belief that anytime I have a desire for something, then I'm going to get punished for it. And so that, hello, Pixie, that, Carrie, is why you're afraid. Because you're afraid that being selfish is negative because you've been taught that it is. So here's the thing. It's okay to want something for yourself. And it's okay to be selfish about certain things because what have I been taught? What do we get taught that as adults we need to be people pleasers. And so I should be freely giving of my energy. I should be freely giving of my time. I get taught that I shouldn't say no. In the culture and community that I grew up in, I was taught that I needed to, even in the military, one of the things that is the Air Force values, service before self. That's a ingrained military value for me. Service before self. It's what I was taught too in my own religious culture. Like if someone else is in need, I should be like volunteering to take them food, to give them the shirt off my back. Which I'm not saying that there isn't a time and a place for that, but your cup needs to be full. In fact, here you go. Put this into perspective. You fill your cup so full by focusing on yourself that then your cup starts to overflow and you have more to give to other people. Right? So we give and we give and we give because we don't believe that we have the right to say no. And then we end up in this place where we're just ragged, exhausted beings. And then we're yelling at everyone. We're taking it out on our kids. We're not happy. We're depressed. We're going to the doctor to get medication to help you feel better. It's just a cycle. So, right? How many of you is that resonating with you? I'm going to give you permission. I'm going to give you permission to focus on yourself. Now it's Valentine's Day. So I'm going to tell you right now that even looking at yourself today, there's a huge potential that, right? What have you done today? You have potentially put someone else first because you want to make them feel good because it's Valentine's Day. And I'm not saying that isn't great because it's kind of one of those weird things, right? It's like I call it the forced holiday of love, right? Where you force yourself to make sure that you let the other person know that you love them. And if you're in a bad relationship, then you force yourself to realize that you're in a bad space or you're all alone. But I'm going to tell you what, like, give yourself some of that love. Give yourself some of that love that you're given to everybody else because ultimately that's how it works. When you love who you are and you love yourself, then you have more to give to other people. And that's just the beautiful way that it works. All right, guys. So, hi, Chloe. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Valentine's. I hope you have a beautiful night. And if you want to dive into this stuff and this type of work, even closer, even on a closer level, I talked about in the link that I posted, I talked about how our energy actually overlaps with other people's. And there are some things that you just can't change. And so understanding your design and how you, I talked about like using specific words with your spouse or your partner. There are some people that if, let's say you're out of milk, there are some people that if you say, we are out of milk, that resonates with them and doesn't cause friction. And then they're going to go and get milk because that's how they're designed. But there are other people that if you say, we are out of milk, it doesn't initiate a response for them because of how they're designed. And so they're not going to do anything. And those people you have to say, can you please go get us milk? And then they'll initiate the response. It's incredible how when you learn about your human design, how you can realize that other people around you are a specific way and you're a specific way. And you learn like how to talk to your kids correctly to get a response, how to mesh with your spouse better so you can get responses, how to understand you so that you're not getting frustrated with who you really are and you learn to love that person. All right, guys, have a beautiful rest of your day, night, whatever it is.